the end of this trip, I feel like we're gonna get home and just be like,
what
happened?
happened?
This is the epitome of Candid. No makeup.
Candid is the fact that our second born was awake from 11 to 5:30.
We have had no sleep. We're leaving in like an hour. We have nothing packed. My hair is all over the place. I have no makeup on. I'm sunburned.
But you're gorgeous, honey.
Look at this beautiful sunrise though.
Wow.
We wanted to make a video for our 4th time here. This time we had not only our 3-year-old, we also had our 16-month-old, and this is the worst filming we've ever done, but we're working with what we got.
A note from the editor.
I am cringing just as much as y'all at this audio quality, so please bear with us. It's gonna get better in about 45 seconds. Our experience here at the Ziva was wonderful as usual.
What a time to be alive.
But it was compounded by lack of sleep almost every night.
Every night.
Talk about your favorite new service we took advantage of.
Oh, yes. The babysitting service was epic.
They have a kids club for, I believe, ages 4 and above that you can take them to like all day long until 10 o'clock, I believe, at night. But for our 2 kids, you could pay to have a babysitter. We dropped them off at 5:30 and picked them up around 9 each night. Hurry! Run away! And paid
$25 an hour per kid. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Apparently the kids just thrived. Maybe we're doing something wrong.
Okay, I couldn't keep doing that.
What? Hot soup.
The babysitting was an investment, but hands down worth it for the season we're in, because even Sam as a 3-year-old can sit through a dinner, no problem. He might need a little walk here and there, a little activity, but Jack is just in a very challenging season. To be able to drop him off at the kids club and then have a nice dinner with adults and be able to go over to the Zilara side where they have adults only restaurants, that was saving. I think we would be even more in a state if we did not have that. Basically what they did when we dropped them off, they have like a kids club playhouse with toys and treehouse and ball pit, all that stuff. And then they take them to the buffet for dinner, and then they take them to a movie. So they either do a movie showing in the convention center if it's raining sometimes, or out on the lawn. Each of the times we picked them up, they seemed so happy and content. They were worn out for sure. The staff was so nice. Sam saw Yaya, who's in charge of the kids club, on the beach yesterday and just ran up to her and didn't want to leave her, which is very comforting to know that he loved who he was staying with so much. Thank you to Yaya and the babysitting staff for making our trip better.
I would say that the food was even better this time around. Not that they've drastically changed the menus. I just thought that the quality of the food overall, even though it's been great previous times that we've been here, was even better.
2 things I forgot to mention in our sleep-deprived state is how kid-friendly the resort is in regards to food for the kids. For breakfast, we had no problem because we got rainbow pancakes for Sam every single morning at Chinolo. Sam absolutely loved that. We also were able to order scrambled eggs with cheese and things like that. Lunchtime was no problem. They have a little restaurant called Pronto's next to the pool where you could order pizza, burgers, quesadillas, very kid-friendly items for lunch and have it delivered to your cabana or your chairs. They just ate in the cabana every day. And then for dinner time, most of the kids menus at the restaurants are fairly kid friendly. We had a little bit of trouble finding something for the boys at Tempest, which is the Asian restaurant. Their kids menu was not as kid friendly, I would say, but everything else we were able to always find something for the kids that they liked. I did end up bringing a whole week's worth of snacks, especially for our travel days and for restaurants before the food comes and everything. I was very glad in the end that I had brought a whole bunch of snacks. That's my 2 cents on how kid friendly the food situation is at the resort. Oh, the water park. That also is essential to this trip because the fact that you can walk to the back of the resort or the front of the resort and have an epic water park right there. Not only big slides for the big kids, but also an amazing kiddie pool with baby slides, and even Jack, who's 16 months, could take advantage of that part of the water park.
I mean, and he could stand up, kind of alleviate some of that pressure off of parents where you're just constantly on.
And they have a lazy river, if that's more your style. Every part of the water park has lounge chairs around it. So if you're a parent and you want to just watch your kids from a distance, you can do that. But also they have a pool that's more of just a normal pool. It doesn't have any water park features to it. That's more relaxing, but everything's kind of centrally located, and they have food trucks and ice cream if you wanted to get a snack or lunch over there. It's a bit of a walk. It's like the pool and the beach are on the back of the resort, I guess, and the water park's on the front of the resort, so it takes about 10 minutes to walk.
Yeah, and it's
there.
just a big property. I mean, when you've got two all-inclusive resorts side by side, you need to be prepared to walk quite a bit. Everything is gorgeous, and it's just incredibly functional overall.
We were a party of 16 this time because we had friends with us plus my family, so we had 2 cabanas with the little shallow ledge in between them, so the boys could wade and not have to be swimming because Sam doesn't really love the water. The
Shallow shelf.
the kids, I don't know what I was saying, the toddlers,
The toys, the
boys,
floats, the boys.
they could either play on the chairs, play on the bed, play in the water right there in the shallow part, or swim in the pool with floaties, but everyone had their own space. We had 16 people and nobody felt like they were on top of each other when we were all hanging out in the pool because we could spread out enough. So the cabanas are extra. When you book your reservation, you'd want to reserve those in advance with your concierge or whoever you're working with. You have a pool concierge that'll reserve the chairs behind the cabana each day. Plus the cabanas that we wanted had the best view of the ocean. We had cabanas 9 and 10 the first couple days, and those you have the whole pool in front of you, then the beach and the ocean. We love those. And then the last 2 days we had 7 and 8, which are really close to the sand, which is great for the kids. They could just kind of go between the pool and the beach, and there was a shower right there where they could rinse off. A little more traffic by 7 and 8. They did the hamster ball activities for like 2 hours yesterday by our chairs. I mean, not ideal, but we did like being by the beach because you have a little bit better view of the ocean as well.
I would say one thing that's been a bit disappointing as our progression and how many times we've been here is that the water of the ocean has gradually gotten more and more filled with seaweed. I understand that that is something that fluctuates and changes, but from the first time that we were here, it was just this electric green color that was just amazing. And then each time that we have come, the seaweed has gradually gotten worse. And we have been told that, you know, that's kind of a thing throughout a lot of the Caribbean, but it is really, really bad. And that's saying something coming from me. I would just like kind of brush it off because I'm a guy that likes to go in the ocean and kind of break up the pool time. It's not even enjoyable because you're having to wade through just feet and feet of seaweed, and obviously it affects the color. They have a barrier that's kind of designed to catch a lot of that. It tangibly is noticeable and even has a distinct smell at times.
Yeah, so that has not been ideal, but the kids still like playing in the sand. They have lots of sports, soccer, volleyball, cornhole, games like that in the sand. So we still enjoyed the beach. We just didn't enjoy the water part of it. But you can also sail and kayak and kite surf.
I kite surfed for the first time.
There's ways to enjoy the water without having to just swim in it. The last thing I'll say is I think this time I realized that the club level
makes a difference.
It makes a difference. We love eating at Chinola for breakfast because it's like waterfront, beautiful open air restaurant, as opposed to having to eat at like Mercado, the buffet, or at just getting a snack at the coffee bar. You also have access to the club lounge at both resorts. It has its own bar, it has its own snacks all day long.
It has its own coffee, which came in handy at times because the coffee line did get a bit long at times in the morning. As we were club access, we were able to go to the lounge and get coffee there and just kind of bypass it.
It's just a machine where you like press the buttons, but you can do cappuccinos and lattes and Americanos,
and add espresso.
And add like 3 or 4 espressos, which is perfect. So yeah, the club access is definitely worth it in my opinion. Plus we had our butler,
Butler lady.
He's called a butler. That's what he calls himself.
Bougie. Bougie little butler.
Martin or Martin. Martin is blowing up our floaties for us.
He prefers Martin.
Martin was so sweet and handled all of our dinner reservations, bookings, checked on us throughout the day, every day to make sure we had what we needed. He put chocolate covered strawberries in our room, did the champagne for my sister's and her husband's anniversary. The service as usual was really, really amazing. Darling, we got to know over the last few times we've been here. We got to see her again, give her hugs. We're definitely on like a personal friendship basis with Darling, or at least I think we are.
Now that I've done this 4 times, I think I'm kind of like, let's see what else the all-inclusive world has to offer in another location that is not bound by seaweed or Jack's lack of sleep.
As a vacation, because you know, there's a difference between travel and vacation. As a vacation, this is amazing option as always. We are very thankful for a great experience once again.
On to the next one.